In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your very own content idea generation assistant using material from YouTube comments and then using AI to generate ideas for future content based on those comments. When we're done, it's going to look something like this. We're going to use a tool called Apify to scrape comments from YouTube. We're then going to pass those into OpenAI, ChatGPT, and determine if they're relevant and generate ideas based on those comments if they are relevant. And then we'll put that all into Google Sheets. So this is going to be awesome. Let's get started. So we're going to start in Apify. So once you go in and create an account, you'll have access to what are called actors in Apify. Apify is something, if you use a lot, you're going to have to pay for, but there's a certain amount that you can do for free. So we're going to use an actor called YouTube Comment Scraper. So you can see it right here. So if I were to go to store, I've already found it, but let's go streamers, YouTube. And so there's several in here. So you want to make sure you're getting the YouTube Comments Scraper. So this one here. Okay. The way this works is you're going to put a YouTube video in here. There's one in here as a default. We're just going to use that for now. And then you're going to set the maximum number of comments that you're going to scrape. So you can see 1,000 comments cost $2 and they give you $5 per month for free. So we're going to keep those comments pretty limited as we set this up because we're going to run it several times to test it. But then once you get it all set up, you can obviously determine how many comments you want to set. So let's go check out what this video is. So it's just an Apify video. And let's see if it's got any comments. Yes, there are a few comments, not too many, but that'll be enough to start with. Again, we'll go in here and we are going to start this actor and it's running. Okay, so it ran and you can see it pulled in comments from that video. There were 6 comments. We had it set for 6 and it pulled 6 in. So that is good. So we're going to go over to make.com now, and I'm actually going to start a fresh scenario so we can build this from scratch. So you're going to start with an Apify trigger. So let's move this. So if you go Apify, and we're going to start with watch actor runs. And I've already created a hook for this. If you hadn't created a hook yet, you would basically get your API from Apify. So I can just show you here. So if I was going to create a new one, you would connect to your Apify through your API key, and then you're just going to, it knows I've only run one actor, and so you're going to find that actor and select it. So I've already done that, and so that's what's in here. Okay, so we're going to go run, now that it's wait for new data. So we're going to have that waiting for new data, and we're going to go run this actor again. All right, so let's look at this. We've got it set for 6 comments. Let's hit start. It's going to run the actor, and when it finishes, it should bring that data over to this module in our make.com scenario. Okay, there you have it. We've got one bundle that came over. And so you can look through these things. You're going to see that the comments themselves did not come over, because that's not what this module does. It doesn't bring the comments over. It watches for the actor to run. And so what we're actually interested in here is this default data set ID. So you can see it right there. So that's where the data actually is, the comments. So normally when we build this out all the way, we're then going to connect this get dataset items as the next module, and we would put the dataset ID in as a variable, default dataset ID. So the way that's going to work is every time we run that actor in Apify, this module is going to be the trigger. It's going to see that it ran, and then it's going to, with this default dataset ID, it's going to grab the dataset ID from that run and pull the data in. Now, because I don't want to run that actor a million times as we set this up, I'm actually going to get rid of this module for now. Delete module. And then we'll go in at the end and we'll add that first module back. But for now, I'm just going to hard code that dataset ID in to this module that's going to pull the data so we can run that. I think we're all good there. So if you run that, you're now going to see you have different bundles of data, one for each comment. So you can see here, we can see who the author of the comment is. We can see the comment right there, the title of the video. So here's the comment. So it worked. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we're going to pass that data into OpenAI. So we're going to do create a completion. And if you haven't already connected your OpenAI account, you're going to need to connect that, obviously. We're going to use create a chat completion. And we're going to use ChatGPT 4.0 for our model. I'm going to leave the tokens as they are for now. And then we're going to go add a message. So the first thing I'm going to put is a system message and say, you are an helpful full content writing assistant. Okay, that's our first message. And then the next message, I'm going to tell it that we are generating content ideas for future YouTube videos based on comments on previous videos. Just as a side note, you can run this with any YouTube video. So if you have a YouTube channel already and you want to scrape comments from your own videos, you could certainly do that. Or you can put, if you're just getting started, you could put other creators in your space, put their YouTube videos in and scrape comments to generate ideas for you to create content about. It will work either way. So we're going to generate content ideas for future YouTube videos based on comments on previous videos. Your task is to determine if a comment is relevant, and if so, to generate an idea for a future YouTube video and provide the title of that video. Something like that. We could obviously refine this prompt and improve it, but for now, I just want to see if I can get everything to work. So let's start with that and let's rerun this thing and see what it gives us. So because recall we had, I think we had 6 comments. And so you're going to have essentially 6 iterations of this prompt, one for every comment. So you see all 6 came through. So if we go check one of these, let's check this first one. Oh, I didn't give it anything. All right, so I forgot to actually give it the comment. All right, so it can't do anything with that. Now that we've given it this prompt, our next message is going to be to give it the actual comments. We're just going to say, so we asked it to determine if the comment was relevant to the video. So we need to give it the title of the video, and then we will give it the comment, and it should be able to use those to determine if it's relevant. So the title is going to be that right there. And we could change the formatting, but this will work for now. Title and then comment is going to be comment. Okay, so now our AI model has a prompt telling it what we're doing, and it's got the data that we want it to look at. So we're going to click OK, and let's go ahead and run that. So it's going to iterate through that AI prompt for every comment. So I think we had 6 comments in our data set. So it's going to run this 6 times, essentially, one for every comment. Okay, and it's done. So it did run 6 times. So let's go see what it produced. All right, so this first comment, which I remember from when we looked at the comments, it was actually written by the author. So the result is this comment is not providing feedback, blah, blah, blah. So it said it's not relevant. Okay, that's good. Next comment. This comment is relevant video idea, a video that teaches how to scrape title, how to scrape time codes from YouTube videos. Okay, that's interesting. So as we look at these results, we'll actually get ideas for either ways to update our prompts or ways to maybe filter some of this out. So one of the things on our first comment, this was written by the author of the video. So that's not really that helpful in our case to have comments from the video author. And as we know, every comment is an operation. So it's taking time and it's costing us money. So I actually want to filter out, say, those comments that are written by the author. So if you click on this little wrench here in between these two, you can set up a filter. Okay, so we're going to set up a filter. We're going to call this author filter. And we will say author is channel owner. So this variable here, author is channel owner. So we only want the comments where that is false. So we're going to put false in there. So now let's run it again. We should get less comments come through. Okay, so we had 4. So we must have had 2 comments from the author of the video. So whereas the first one was previously by the author, now we filtered that out. Okay, so that's good. That's less operations that we'll have to run. We could also, sometimes people will comment like 1-word answers like nice or something like that. We could update this filter to also filter out really short comments. So the way we would do that would be to go in here and we're going to first go grab a function length and then put in that length the comment. Okay, and so and then we're going to grab an operator. In this case, we want a numeric operator. We want, let's say, comments that are greater than 5 characters. So the way this is going to work, we're going to only accept comments that are not by the channel owner and comments that are longer than 5 characters. I don't think in this example we had any comments that are less than that, so we're going to still end up with 4. Okay, so that's a start. Let's look at what our AI is creating for us. That's good enough for now. We'll make updates to that, but let's for now pass that into Google Sheets. We're going to add a row. If you haven't connected your Google account, you're going to need to do that. And then once you do so, you can search for a Google Sheet. I've already got one set up for this. We're going to use Sheet 1. Table contains headers, yes. And in this sheet, I just have title, comment, and content idea. So if we go back into here, we're going to grab the title of the video. We're going to grab the comment. And we're going to grab the content idea, which is going to be the result of our OpenAI run. Okay, so if we click OK, so now if we run it, we should get those 4 comments and the ideas that go with them into our Google Sheet. Okay, so they are there. So you can see I've got, and this is, I put in a very basic prompt. And so it's just doing whatever it can to figure that out. So it's giving me the video title. I didn't really ask for that, but I didn't tell it not to. What I really want is this video idea. Oh, the video title. This is for the new video. That's what I really want. So it's giving me the relevance of a little dissertation on the relevance, summarizing the idea, and then here's the title. So that alone would be a good start, but I think I can do a little better. For one, there is a comment in here that's not relevant. So it didn't generate any ideas. Hello, I can't see your link to your Discord channel. So I don't really have a video I want to make about that. So it's correctly identified that this is not relevant, but it just gave me a bunch of junk in here. It's not really helpful to see that. So there's a couple of things I want to do. One is I want it to filter out stuff where there's not a relevant comment, and therefore there's no idea. The other thing I might like it to do is provide an outline for the video. That could be helpful. So we can go back in here and we can ask it just in the prompts to provide an outline, generate a brief outline for the video. So if I just do that, it will give me an outline, but it's just going to mush all this data together into that same cell. Okay, so it ran again. Let's get rid of these first 4. So now I've got even more in here. So it did give me an outline. It's got the video idea, which is now just the title. Now, this is good. It's interesting. It maybe isn't exactly what I want. If I want to break apart the output, the problem is the output from this AI is all just a big blob of text. One of the ways I can change that is instead of having it output in text, I can have it output in JSON format. It can output in JSON format instead of text, and that would allow me to create different variables and parse that data that comes out of OpenAI. So to do that, I got to do a couple things. For one, I'm going to turn on these advanced settings, and you can see response format is set to text. I can change that. I can change that to JSON object. I have to mention in my prompt that I want to get the output in JSON, put JSON, okay? And what I really need to do is give it an example of what I want in the following format. Okay, so I could come down here and JSON is going to be all within curly brackets like this. So I want to get a couple things out of so I want a Boolean on whether the comment is relevant or not, the true or false. And that will allow me to filter. So I only bring in the true comments. And then I'd like to have the content idea and the outline separated. So those are the 3 things I'm going to ask it to output in JSON formatting: is a Boolean on whether the content is or the comment is relevant, the content idea, and the outline. I'm going to set up within curly brackets and then within quotes, I'm going to say comment, this is a variable, relevance, and I'm going to give it the data type Boolean. Okay, so that's the first thing it's going to give me. Second would be content idea. And I want that as a string or text. And then the next thing is going to be content outline. And I want that also as a string. Okay, so now when I run this, I should get something in a little different format. Now it's not set up to go into Google Sheets yet. We're going to have to remap that. So I'm just going to delete this for now and just rerun it and see what it comes up with. Okay, so now that it's run, I still have my 4 comments. So whereas we just had a big blob of text before, so now I have, remember, only the 4 that didn't include the author came in. So this first one was relevant. So this comment relevance is set to true. That's good. Here's the idea. How to scrape YouTube video time codes from descriptions with Apify. Great. And then here's the outline. Awesome. Let's go check number 3 because that was the comment that wasn't relevant. Comment relevance false, and then everything else is empty. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go reconnect this. I'm going to go change my Google Sheet. Let's get rid of all this crap. We're going to do title, comment, content idea, content outline, this. Okay, so now if I go back here, I'm going to reconnect Google Sheets, add a row. There's my Apify YouTube comments. Sheet name is sheet 1. Okay, so it now sees that column that I added for content outline. So now let's see if we can grab all the right stuff. Title, comment, content idea. That's going to come from, okay, so you can see something didn't work here because I forgot something. So while we do have this in JSON formatting, it's still one big blob of data. And the reason for that is I forgot to parse. So we're going to go back into here, and we still have our prompt set up with this request for JSON formatting and the formatting that we set up. But we need to go down to here and say parse JSON response. So that's going to separate each of those 3 variables. All right, so if we run that, now we should see in our output choices message, we should see it parsed. So if we go reconnect Google Sheets, add a row, sheet 1, table contains headers, and now let's just go right in here. All right, here we go. So content idea, so it has parsed these. So now we have 3 different variables, one for the comment relevance. We're not going to put that into our sheet. We're going to actually filter on that in a second. Content idea and content outline. Okay, so content idea is going to go in here. Content outline is going to go here. Comment itself is going to go here. And title of the video is going to go here. Okay, so now if we run that, okay, so now if we run that, we should get that data broken up into the different columns in our Google Sheet. All right, so that's done. So let's go check it out. Okay, so here's the title of our video. Here's the comment. Here's the content idea. And here's our outline. Awesome. So it worked. Now, the one thing we haven't done is filter out the irrelevant comments. So here on row 4, this was an irrelevant comment. So these variables are empty. That's good, but we don't even need to bring that in here. So we're going to go back into make.com, click on this wrench to set up a filter. And this will be 11. Okay, so we're going to look for comment relevance. And we only want the trues. Okay, so let's go back in here, clean all this out, and let's run it again. So we're filtering out the 2 comments in this first filter that came from the author. And then, so you can see 4 come through there, but only 3 pass the comment relevance filter. So it should have filtered out that comment that wasn't relevant, and it did. So there you have it. Now we have an idea generator. Again, we could refine our prompt. We could give it examples in the prompt of exactly the formatting or the type of outline or idea we are looking for. We could even give it examples if it was struggling to figure out whether a comment was relevant or not. We could give it an example of a relevant and an irrelevant comment in our prompt. But this is working okay for now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back in here and we're going to add back this Apify watch actor runs. So let's move all this over and we're going to connect. Let's see. We're going to connect these two like that. And now instead of hard coding that data set ID, now this is going to watch that actor run. So we're going to go in here and take this hard-coded data set ID out that we were using for testing. And we're actually going to go grab default dataset ID. Okay, so now this is set up so that every time this actor runs, it's going to grab that data and run it through this system. So I could put a different video in there. It's going to run it. We've got 3 comments in now. Let's go run this. And then let's go find a new video and plug it in there. Okay, so I just came in and grabbed the link from a random video. I'm going to go back into this actor. We're going to put other video in. So let's now increase this. Let's say we want 10 comments. And if we run this, we should get our ideas. So this module is waiting for data. Okay, so it pulled in 10 comments. The hearts. It should have filtered those out in our scenario. So let's see what happened. So it ran through. It got one. It had one actor run. It was able to pull the dataset ID from that actor. That's good. We had 9 comments make it through the filter. So one didn't pass the filter of either being by the author or being author's channel owner. So none of these were written by the owner of the channel. And then all but that last one with the 3 hearts was greater than 5. So it filtered out the hearts. You can see the comment there. Okay, so that's good. That worked the way we wanted. Now it passed these through our chat. And then apparently we had 5 relevant comments come through. And if we could check these comments that weren't relevant if we wanted to make sure. So this one was false. This one was false. So let's just actually see if we can see what those comments are. Thank you for this. That was the first comment that it filtered for relevance. So that's not very helpful. Chances are one of their maxed out cards bought them those nice things. LOL, I'm lazy and want money to work for me. That's what resonated most. Love your content. I do have a question. It seems all your money is in the market. What would happen? Blah, blah, blah. So you can see it just spot checking those. The first 2 it filtered out. They weren't really relevant. The second 2 were relevant. And so it's passed through. So let's go check out our Google Sheet. Okay, so these were the ideas from the previous video that we were working with, how to extract data from YouTube. So this is the video we just put in, how to become a millionaire using this belief system. Okay, cool. And then here are the 5 comments that were considered relevant. And then here are the ideas, how to protect your wealth during a market crash, and an outline. It's working. Obviously, you can go through and refine your prompt and tweak things as you see how weaknesses and strengths. Again, we could give it examples, but this is a working system. The one other thing I wanted to mention is, so basically we would go run this actor manually. So we would just turn this scenario on and leave it on. And then every time we run this actor, this automation will run. The other thing we could do if we go to actor is we can put multiple YouTube videos in. So we could put 5 YouTube videos in here and run them all as a batch, and it would get content ideas from those 5. You should now have an automation that can scrape comments from a YouTube video and use AI to generate relevant content ideas for future content. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. and I'll see you next time. Thanks.